frame our lives in the story that the Bible gives us about who we are as Christians, which are priests that offer up their souls and bodies to be a living sacrifice to the Lord their God, which is their act of worship as a sensible people, a holy nation, a royal priesthood, a people set apart, whose cry out is, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And we've got to muster ourselves. We've got to muster ourselves. We've got to enliven the church to that great and holy campaign that we are on, that pilgrimage, that crusade that we are on as Christians to establish the kingdom of God in the real world. Start preparing for what is obviously on the horizon, or one possibility of a horizon.
I think the church has shown in recent years that it is cowardly and it does go along with what it's told to do. It didn't stand up and look after the sick people. It didn't go out and make sure the homeless were okay. It didn't do any of its jobs.
It was secondary to the state.
It was secondary to the state, and that's because a lot of Christians, they think of themselves as New Zealanders, or they think of themselves as British, and so they associate themselves to the national stories.
That's their allegiance.
Exactly. What we need to be doing. Well, I think it's syncretism. I think it is the worship joining of another God to the worship of Yahweh. We need to frame our lives in the story that the Bible gives us about who we are as Christians, which are priests that offer up their souls and bodies to be a living sacrifice to the Lord their God, which is their act of worship as a sensible people, a holy nation, a royal priesthood, a people set apart, whose cry out is, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven," and offer up their souls and bodies to bring about that reality. And if that means that we come into conflict with our government or the governmental agenda, then that's what we do. For most, for most of Christian history, all the heroes of the faith were considered the villains of the societies that they were working in. But those were the heroes. So how have we got to the point where if a Christian is considered the villain of their society for Jesus, the church kicks them while they're down and goes, "We've got nothing to do with that guy. No, we're not like him."
It's like the Pharisees.
They are. They're cowards.
They repeat.
Yeah.
They repeat of the penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid the church has got nothing on the Pharisees.
Yeah. So we've got to muster ourselves. We've got to muster ourselves. We've got to enliven the church to that great and holy campaign that we are on, that pilgrimage, that crusade that we are on as Christians to establish the kingdom of God in the real world against all opposition. Anyway,
opposition's coming from my church. I mentioned some of the things you teach.
Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Go on, bro.
I was going to say, I mentioned some of the things you mentioned, like that Mecca didn't exist until the 8th century. I get absolutely lynched in the Catholic congregation. Censored. Don't mention it on the WhatsApp group. Speak about it in person. Which I get that.
Well, no. Wait. Why should you?
It or what?
Why should you get that? No, I would say you should push back on that and go, look, facts are facts, regardless of how you feel about them.
Facts,
and if you don't like the facts, then prove that they're not facts. But if they are facts, then surely you should say to them, don't we believe that all truth should be spoken in love? And so if this is a truth, shouldn't we speak it in love? And so if it's not a truth, I'll stop saying it. But if it is a truth, I'll stop saying it. But if it is a truth, you should speak the truth in love.
Yeah, no matter where it is.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, there's people dropping out the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And all sorts, without even explaining themselves.
Right.
Or coming up with an argument.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, brother, you're doing a good thing there, because the way to get the liberals out of the church is to be be brash to the point that the liberals don't want to be around us, and that's how we get rid of the liberals.
Yeah.
Because
to make the church stronger again, get rid of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the ways to do that is say you're a liberal, is to get as close to the liberal as you can and go, well, actually, I believe Mecca doesn't exist. Yeah, and speak as if you're speaking for this guy. And then this guy goes, no, I've got nothing to do with them. And they back off from you. And eventually, if we just keep saddling up to them and then speaking in a way that they don't like, eventually they'll bounce out of the church. And that's one of the strategies we can employ to recapture the church. So when you drive out the liberals from the WhatsApp group, right?
Just keeping all the strong ones there.
Yeah.
So we can make changes then.
Exactly.
Because there's no liberals to oppose us in there.
But I would also encourage you, exactly, you got it. I would also encourage you to get into church governance.
Yeah.
Get into the church council.
I wouldn't know how to. I've only been studying really. I've been leaning to Christ for about 12 months. So I'm quite new to it. That's why.
Right. I trust you. Trust me, bro. There's going to be people on the church council that are pushing some right pish posh. Yeah? Like, you've got the right mindset, even if you don't have all the knowledge. Keep going in the knowledge, but the only way that we're going to take back our churches from the liberals is that we get into church government. That's the only way to do it.
I'll try to do, yeah.
And then when we're in church government, we angle the church in such a way that the liberals don't want to associate with it and they bugger off.
Yeah, good. Which will happen really fast.
Yeah, it will. Because we all know that progressives aren't tolerant. They're not, liberals aren't tolerant.
I was getting told that Islam was an Abrahamic religion, and then I said there's no excuse anymore. Just chat GPD'd it.
Yeah.
And proved it wrong in a second.
Yeah.
Said they've got no archaeological, genealogical,
connection to Abraham,
archaeological, nothing.
Yeah.
No ties whatsoever.
Yeah.
And great, because we were all saying, oh yes, but it is an Abrahamic religion.
It really isn't.
And I said, listen, just chat GPT, it takes a second.
But you could also point out that it's not an Abrahamic religion because Abraham was not there was no covenantal promise of revelation through Ishmael.
Yeah, even if they were connected to Ishmael.
Yeah, which also they can't prove. They can't prove that.
They can't prove anyway, and even if they could, it still doesn't matter.
It would be spurious.
Anyway.
It would be it would be fiction. It would be fictional.
Israel.
But even if they did prove it, it would be wrong. Yeah, Islam is not an Abrahamic religion.
No.
And you shouldn't be frightened to challenge that because, again, remember, the Catholic Church believes in all that is true. So the point is, if it is true, it can be said.
Yeah.
So if they're saying that you shouldn't say it, it's on them to prove that what you're saying is not true.
I was getting Pope quotes and everything thinking they were chatmates.
Yeah.
A Pope in 1965 saying they worship the same God and all stuff like this.
Yeah.
So popes can get it wrong as well, you know.
Right, can I tell you how to answer that one? Right?
And they were like, I'm being charitable with you here, you've just denied what the Pope said.
Right, can I get wrong? Can I get
that specific thing?
I agree with you that the Pope is wrong, but that is not an argument that is going to work with a Catholic.
No, they got the facts.
So let me tell you an argument that does work with a Catholic. Is agreed. Muslims try to worship the same God in the same way that Cain tried to worship the same God as Abel, but God rejected the worship of Cain. Yeah?
That's a good answer. Yeah.
And that is an answer that will work better in Catholic circles than the Pope got it wrong. I agree with you, the Pope got it wrong, but that's not an argument.
You think it's completely perfect.
But you could also say to them, did the Borgias get it wrong? The thing is, within the Catholic tradition, there is a lot of strong evidence for lots of saints and lots of church fathers.
I believe a lot of it, but sometimes they're wrong. And if it is, I'll call it out.
Yeah, but I just think it's an easier argument to make to say, they try to worship the same God as Christians. They try to worship the same God as Abraham, just like Cain tried to worship the same God as Abel. But just as God rejected the worship of Cain, so God rejects the worship of Muslims. Yeah? All right.
Nice one, Bob.
Peace with you, brother. God bless.
Can I ask you a couple more questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, you're not.
Yeah, go for it. I'm here.
I've only just started studying.
Just to let you know, bro, I've got to go at 5, so you've got me for about 25 minutes.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll leave it then.
Go on, I got me for 25 minutes.
Some structure in my studying.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm overwhelming myself.
Right.
I'm trying to learn everything at once. I'm trying to learn everything at once.
You wanted me to give you like a curriculum?
Exactly, yeah, basically, yeah.
All right.
So I'm trying to learn the Gospels and the Old Testament.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn a bit of Islam, a bit of history, and at the end of the month, my head's completely...
For now, I would say dump everything that isn't learning about Christianity.
Just solely commit to that.
Yeah. And for now, I would say dump everything except learning about the New Testament.
Yeah. Okay.
Then when you've got a reasonably good grasp of the New Testament, go into the Old Testament, and then go into history. And then when you've got that triangle set, then go back into Islam and other religions and ideologies. Yeah, just as a basic structure. Because if you're finding it overwhelming, then let's focus on what's most important.
Too impatient. I'm trying to learn it all now.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I'm doing too much at once.
If you go onto my website on my card, I run a discipleship class that runs every Monday and Tuesday.
I'm on it. The apologetics class.
Right. So you'll learn a lot through there, but it's also discipleship where we learn about our faith as well.
We did conservatism last week.
Yep.
We're doing polemics.
No, we're back into the parables this week.
Well, I'll speak to you Monday anyway.
All right. Peace be with you, brother.
Nice
God bless. Go on, bro. How you doing?
Meet you late. I've been watching you quite regular. I want to know what you think England is.
Sorry?
What is England?
Ooh, good question. England is a kingdom that was established by Alfred the Great, his son and his grandson, Ethelbert, who became the first king of the English, and he linked that identity intrinsically to the defence of the church. So to be English is to defend the church, to be bound to the church. And the reason why I say that is if you look at the great history of the English, from Alfred the Great to the present, absolutely everything has changed except the unity of the English to the church, which has been the one present, continuous and unchanged, though reformed, but unchanged from the time of Alfred the Great to the present king.
Isn't that England?
What?
The Bible?
No, the Bible is definitely not England.
Sorry, so the protector should be the king now.
Right. Yes, should be.
Yes, the king.
Protecting the borders and everything else, yeah.
Which
the
I
people.
think he done wrong.
No, he's a traitor. He's a Nazi.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's accurate.
I don't think it's fair that he opened up our churches for another
He didn't.
No?
No, it's the apostate bishops that did that. The king literally has...
Sorry.
So the king literally has no power.
Yeah.
Everybody puts it on the king because they don't understand the Constitution. It would help patriots a lot if they actually took the time to understand the Constitution of the country. The king has no power. That's one of the things that's changed. But the thing that hasn't changed is that the state and the church are bound together. So if you want to defend something that has been consistently English, it is that unity. And that means...
English, I think Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just English, I think Christian. I think it's the whole of Europe that Christian that is kind of been invaded.
Well, that's the point. If we as English are bound to the church, then that means it's not just an individualised private project of one tribe, but it is this tribe working in unity with other tribes for the kingdom of God. So that brings me to your point about the Bible. The Bible is not England, though the Bible did make England. And the Bible is the heritage of all Christians, and it's one of those things that the tribe of the English share with other tribes and other peoples.
I disagree there, Bob.
Well, who wrote the Bible, bro?
Well, the Bible is written by a number of people. Moses wrote the first 5 chapters.
Was Moses English?
Don't forget, there's signs which should be left on the earth, right? Because I'm not a spinning ball freak, right? There's signs that should be left somewhere on the earth, wherever country, right? It identifies the Promised Land.
The Promised Land is Israel.
But we are told that.
That's what the Bible actually says.
It tells us that they're right. It tells us
Jesus will eventually come back to.
Right.
He won't be coming back to England.
No, he'll be there.
He'll come back. He'll come back to the world. His great Perusia, and he will come back to the world. I think you're speaking about British Israelism. But that's not biblical. British Israelism is not biblical. Let me be clear. British Israelism, if not outright heresy, is certainly a grievous error. The English are not Israel. England is not the Promised Land.
Right, if I turned around and said to you that I found a number of sites to link with the Bible on this land, right?
I would say that you've misread the Bible.
I've misread the Bible.
Yes.
Why would you say that?
Right. Because when you look into the Old Testament, all the lands that are spoken about in the Old Testament are all identifiable in North Africa, the Middle East, and the southern Mediterranean basin. England it mentions the nations. Like when it talks about Israel, it says they come out of Egypt, they cross the Red Sea, they're in the deserts of Sinai, and then they enter into the land of Canaan. Now we know where Canaan is because you just look at the archaeological record, and we can identify the Canaanites through archaeology. So when they're entering into the land of Canaan, we know where that is because of the archaeological record, and that's where roughly we see Palestine and Israel, Transjordan, Lebanon. It's that area that we're talking about. So it's not England.
Right. So Abraham erected the stone, the altar.
Yes, he erected a stone altar. Yeah.
They don't tell us what the area is called where Abraham erected the altar, but it does tell us.
I think it does.
It does tell us that it was to the east of Bethel and to the west of Ai. And this is where Lot separated. Lot went to the east, right?
And Abraham went
into the garden of God.
And Abraham went to the west.
They went up to the west.
Right. So where?
Into Canaan.
Right, but into Canaan, and we know where Canaan is. We have archaeology identifying the Canaanites, their language, their religion, their religious practices. Canaanites.
Not similar to Templar.
Not knights. Right. Canaanites.
Right. Sorry.
So it's like saying English.
Right.
No. Canaanites. It's just a people. It's a tribe in a land.
You say Knights,
which came from Ham.
Yeah, but Abraham settles, and his children. Remember, because Abraham's children, his grandson Isaac and Joseph, they travel from the land where Abraham settled back into Egypt. Right, and they did it by walking. Right.
Yeah, he could be brought out of Egypt.
There's no mention of a boat. There's no mention of them. There's no mention of them getting on a boat.
No, he walked through the sea.
What, Abraham walked through the sea?
No, not Abraham. Moses.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Abraham and his children. Because you're trying to make the argument that you found a stone altar in England that proves that the land of promise is England, right?
No, what I've said to you, right?
Have I misunderstood you?
No, what I've said to you, I've found a number of sites.
You haven't, but go on.
I have, yeah.
Go on, tell us what you found.
I found a number of sites. I found an altar.
And what do they prove?
And 12 stones.
What do they prove, please? What do they prove, please?
I also, let me just finish. Let me finish my conversation and I'll...
Go on.
Okay. I started asking...
I've got 15 minutes before I have to go.
I said a park for Stoke many years ago, right, and I went on a history hunt, right. I've never been a big believer, but now I'm a believer, right.
Of what?
Of the creation.
Your prophet ate haram.
Jesus came.
Muhammad ate haram. Muhammad ate camel meat, that's haram. Muhammad ate camel meat, that's haram. Go on.
I don't know how they can compare Jesus.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no way.
You can't.
You can't. I mean, what he done in 10 years? 82 wars?
Yeah.
Killed so many people. Married
And
11 wives, one
each other.
I mean, shall I tell you the biggest irony of all? Here's the biggest irony of all. Muslims will say, Israel is committing a genocide. Condemn Israel, it's committing a genocide. But Muhammad wanted to commit a genocide in the Arabian Peninsula and did against the tribe of the Abu Quraysh. They'll say, Israel is an apartheid state, or condemn Israel, it's an apartheid state. But Muhammad establishes an apartheid in Sharia law. So all the things that they're condemning Israel for, Muhammad himself did. And they just don't get the irony. They just, in Nigeria they're killing thousands.
Syria, and so many places the Christians have been.
Yeah. So go on, bro. Can I ask you what is it you think? Okay, taking for granted that you found these sites.
Right. Well,
what do you think that they prove, please?
I believe that I've identified what you recognise as Bethel with these stones.
So you are saying that wait. So wait. You are saying therefore that this is the promised land, this land, right?
I've also found where the burial chamber for the patriarchs and matriarchs are, which is in memory.
Whatever sites that you found, what you've done is I assure you, sir, what you've done.
The stones at the top of their
what you have done. What you have done is you have applied the Bible to your immediate context in a way that's eisegesis. Do you know what eisegesis is?
No, come on, carry on.
Right. So there's a difference between eisegesis and exegesis. Eisegesis is when you read something into the text that's not there. Exegesis is when you read out of the text what the text is saying. If you're saying that the England is the promised land where Abraham settled, you are doing eisegesis.
I'm reading something into it which isn't there.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Right. Okay.
But you're doing that with the archaeology.
Right, okay, then.
You're doing that with the archaeology.
Right, then. Okay, then. So, like I say, I went on a history hunt. Found 7 sites altogether.
Respectfully, sir, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude, but I'm happy to talk about the points that you make. But what I don't have time for is a story. So make your points like bullet points, and I'll interact with them. But if you're going to tell me stories, I'll just have to stop the conversation because I literally don't have the time for the stories. So what points do you want to make, and I'll interact with the points.
The points I want to make is that we're being lied to as regards its true location.
Right. Do you believe that Jesus Christ was an Israelite born in Bethlehem, or that he was an Englishman born somewhere in England?
It depends where you say Bethlehem is.
I say Bethlehem is a few miles away from Jerusalem in the West Bank, close to Israel. So do you believe that
Jesus... That isn't what they tell us in thing, isn't it?
That is exactly what they...
It's the northern point of Israel.
No, it isn't.
Bethel.
No, Bethlehem. My question was about Jesus. Because if you're, let me explain the reason for my argument. Because if you're saying that this land is the promised land, then that means that the people here are the promised people, and that Jesus Christ should have been born in England. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Right. I am saying to you, what you've done there is eisegesis of archaeology.
I read something into what I read.
No, 1 second. And here's an argument why. Do you know who Josephus is?
Josephus, no, go on.
Right. So Josephus was a Roman historian of Jewish stock captured after the Roman revolt of 70 AD.
Yep.
And he chronicles the things that lead up to the great war against the Romans in Israel, in the province of Judea. And in Josephus's writings, he talks about the Jewish people in Israel, the province of Judea, and he mentions Jesus as being crucified in Israel under a Roman governor called Pontius Pilate. So what we've got exactly. So if a Roman historian is saying that Jesus was in Israel, you have very good reasons to abandon what you're saying about Jesus being born in England.
But that's...
No, you don't go by historical facts. Historical facts take it back.
Yeah.
He died on the cross.
Exactly.
He was resurrected, and that's by historical...
Are you wanting to ask me some questions? Me too.
Christian.
Right, I'm not denying what it's telling us.
Right.
But what it is, right, that certain things identify certain things.
No, what you're doing is eisegesis of the archaeology.
See, cyanide
Anyway,
was of the northern...
Sorry, Uncle, I'm going to go, but have a lovely day. You know, I won't. No.
I want you to read it.
I won't.
Right,
I won't.
My phone number then.
I'm sorry, I won't. I won't read
Get in
it.
touch with you, but
Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, feel free to talk some more.
I will.
But I won't take the book.
More information.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Bob. It's
Nice
Bob,
to meet you.
isn't
It is. Yeah, not my real name. I don't use my real name
I know.
here.
But it's good what you're doing. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
keep doing what you're doing, because otherwise...
You're the waiting list.
Yeah, there you go, bro.
Really good.
Feel free to get in
May
touch.
Jesus be with you.
Yeah. Guys, I've got to go. Peace be with you. Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce, I just work in the test, but I'm from Lancashire. I just watch all your vids.
Oh yeah, I love Lancashire. Been there loads. Great place. Yeah, very rainy though. There's a reason for that. Yeah.
Oh, are you speaking on the 13th?
I've not been invited to that, I know. I've not been invited to.
My ears, man, relax.
Have you got any questions or?
No, because I'm just going to tell them 5 minutes.
You want me to wait?
Yeah, wait for 2 seconds.
I got backache.
Can I ask a question, Bob?
I got backache because I've got a bad mattress and I need to get a new one.
Can I ask a random question?
Go for it.
I've been, as I said, I've been watching your vids and wanting to learn about the Bible now. When I walk around my town, the only people who were offering Bible readers was witnesses. So I've took the offer up. I read not their Bible, I read the
Ours.
Yeah, and compare the things, and they let me. And I know about what they believe about Jesus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They force it upon me. They let me read my version. They read theirs and compare.
Yeah.
So is that just better than no one? Basically?
No, my advice to you is to not do Bible studies with the Jehovah's Witnesses. They're a heretical group. They're outside of the covenant. They're not Christians, and they're not considered Christians because they deny the Trinity. So break off your connection with them, and go and find like a good evangelical church, or a good Presbyterian church, or a good Roman Catholic church, or a good Anglican church, or a good Orthodox church, and study the faith with those people. Yeah. All you've highlighted is the fact fact that I want to make a point on, which is that there are lots of sincere brothers looking for truth in the world, and if the church isn't out there in public making a bold witness for Christ, then good sincere brothers like this are going to get sucked into these heretical groups. So where are you, church? Why aren't you out on the street handing out books, having conversations with people, giving out Bibles, not like confetti, but conversationally interacting with people, not preaching at them, not singing at them, not praying for them, but talking to them? Go on.
I was just going to say, like, that's something you see with them all the time. They seem to be out there,
but they're not Christians. It's like seeing a Jehovah's Witness on the street is like seeing a Muslim on the street.
No, I basically say you're not far off a Muslim with what you believe. Basically, they like Jesus and they believe it's the Messiah.
I think the Muslims might have problems with that, but like the fact of the matter is, it's just a different religion. It's an American religion. And so as Christians, we can't have fellowship with them. We can evangelize them, but we can't have fellowship with them. So if you are going to their Bible studies, that would count as a fellowship act, and you have to separate yourself from that stuff. So now that you know that they're not Christian, have no more fellowship with them, and go and find yourself a good Christian church.
I've been to some other churches and stuff. They just really,
Church of England churches are wet and rubbish. So are Methodist churches, and so are United Reformed churches. But there are good evangelical churches. There are good Orthodox churches. There are good Roman Catholic churches. Not all of them. Usually go for the ones with the Latin Mass. Right? There's good Pentecostal churches. I guarantee there will be a better church in your town. But no church is better than joining with the Arians.
No, I just wanted to ask that because, like I say, they're the only people I see out. Like, I'm basically watching your videos, learning about it, and then I'm like trying to find someone local. Around the street.
What town are you in?
I'm in Darwin.
Darwin? I don't know Darwin. I guarantee there's going to be a free church in Darwin. Go for whatever microphone you need. I guarantee there's going to be a free church in Darwin.
No, there is. I've been so.
How long does it take you to go from Darwin to Lancaster?
Probably half an hour.
Right, there's good churches in Lancaster. There's good churches in Lancaster. St. Thomas's Church in Lancaster in the city centre. That's a good church. And I know that that's not the only good church in Lancaster. So go jump on a bus. If you can't find a good church in Darwin, go to Lancaster.
No, we'll do. Cheers.
All right. Peace with you.
Thank you.
Right. Are you needing me, bro? Come and say hello to the churches. I say this. Do not go on the street and preach at people, but go onto the street and evangelize every main high street in the country by putting out a book stall, by getting in good second-hand books on a wide variety of topics, and by having conversations with people. Talk to people and engage people in dialogue. They don't want to be preached at, they don't want to be sang at, and they feel uncomfortable, a good number of them, if you go up to them and say, "Can we pray for you?" Go and have conversations with people that are about Christianity and the Christian faith, and talk about the topics that these people want to talk about from a Christian perspective. And let's see that in every town in England, on every high street in England. Okay.